Hello, family. Welcome back. Dr. Anta here again, introducing to you the second episode in our suicide series, Suicide and Academics. Stay tuned. Suicide could be considered a global phenomenon which has generated huge concerns. Suicide affects people of all age groups. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, 2023 suicide facts, more than 700,000 people die due to suicide every year. Please bear in mind that with every suicide, many more people attempt suicide. Suicide is the fourth leading cause of death among 15 to 29-year-olds. Academic lifestyles in some areas of the world are highly competitive and stressful. Research has shown that academic stress was positively associated with suicide ideation at a low or moderate level of adaptive coping styles. Comparatively, there is no significant association between academic anxiety and suicide ideation with high levels of adaptive coping styles. Suicide among age group children could also be associated with other forms of injury and violence, namely children who have experienced violence at home, child abuse, and school through bullying. This episode, we will compare the past and present academic lifestyles and coping strategies. We will also hear about the educational experiences of school-age children from different socioeconomic levels in developed and developing countries. Lastly, we will have testimonies from fathers dealing with academic pressures and their growing children.
I am a nurse clinical instructor in one of the university. I worked for 25 years and we expose our students not only in the hospital but in the community. So my students are very good in giving health education, health teachings to the people in the community. We don't have a case of suicides during my time.
Okay.
Well, if the students are pressured by their parents to study, it's for their own good because it will give them a bright future, and it is for them that they will become a professional later on. It will be for their own good. They will become a professional someday.
Matters in this ever increasing and intense society in which we live in, there's the need for our children to achieve academically in life. And that brings a lot of different challenges in which, if not navigated properly, the individual may resort to negative ways of trying to cope. Therefore, it's important that in the pursuit of educational excellence, that children are taught proper coping skills, and as fathers, we must be there to support and communicate to the children effectively, because there are a number of contributing factors in regards to a child seeking educational achievements and the pressure that is placed on them towards producing social acceptable outcomes and suicide. And this may be something that is not generally looked at. But because of the peer pressure, number one, this might drive a child towards suicide if they see themselves as an underachiever, if they see themselves as being a loser in life, the pressure from their friends, and if they're not encouraged properly, can drive them towards suicide because of this sense of hopelessness, also this sense of helplessness. I've disappointed my mother, I've disappointed my father. And as men, we must be able to communicate and have that relationship with our children that we're able to support them regardless of what the outcome is, meaning how much CXC, how much GCE, how much O levels, A levels the person achieved. We must assure them that we're there for them and that we're there to help them through this educational pursuit. Because the family might play some pressure on them based on socially accepted expectations in regards to their education. Also, there's a factor that we have to look at in regards to the poor economic circumstances that they may feel pressured of having to do well, having to excel, that drives them towards suicide if there's this loss of meeting these expectations. Also, the parents, there's always the parental pressure because of being a single parent. The child feels compelled to produce at the highest level, and if they don't, they see themselves as a failure. So, as parents too, they have to be there to help to support them, reassure them that this is not the end of the road. Because for some of them, it can be so overwhelming dealing with the pressures of day-to-day living and these great expectations that is placed on them, which now becomes a burden on them. And this can lead to feelings of frustration, to feelings of helplessness, hopelessness, and in their effort of maladapting, it drives them towards a suicide attempt because for them, they see themselves as failures, and for them, they think that this is the only solution or the only way out. Therefore, we have to show them, we have to tell them, we have to reassure them that we are there for them. So there's a need for, support groups to educate the fathers as to how to relate to their children so they don't place undue pressure on them. And also there's a need to teach the fathers, the mothers, the family, how to relate, to cooperate with these children so that they are not driven to that hopeless, desperate type of situation. Because no one knows what is really going on in the mind of that individual. Therefore, one have to build trust so that when there's an issue, that they're able to come to the father, to come to the mother, and divulge such information so that they can offer hope to that individual. They'll be able to offer the necessary resources that are available, like mental health services may be available. Also, there may be the need to have a psychologist referral for that individual so that they're able to cope. Also, there may be the need for counseling and having that one-on-one type of conversation with that individual or with those children. So it's a level of understanding that is needed for all of us to be able to help these children to cope with the different pressures that they're going through because they come from the home, they come from societal expectation may come from peer pressure, may come based on the economic responsibility that they feel that they have to help out their mother, to help out their father, to help out the family, that they become burdened. Right? So we don't need to burden these children with these responsibilities. So sharing the information or directing them to sources where they'll be able to get information from is important so that they're able to have that needed help so that they can address some of their challenges and they see that suicide is not the only option because it's about options, it's about making choices. So we have to equip the children with the necessary tools so that they're able to make proper choices as they navigate life. Having support groups too, we could have a support group for the men so that they're able to be educated, so that they know how to talk to the children, how to support the children, and how to be there for the children, so that the children are not pressured unduly or not pressured at all, that they're able to thrive. And regardless of what the outcome is, to know that they're loved, they're cared for, and that they're supported. And that's one of the ways that we're able then to help these children when it comes to peer pressure in academia or the pressure of life as they go through school in achieving success. Because for some persons, success looks different. So we have to bear that in mind and be able to accept the children's abilities for what they are. Everybody can be lawyers, everybody can be doctors. There's a need for mechanics, there's a need for plumbers, there's a need for engineers. So do not unduly burden these children as men as they go through life, as they navigate life. Don't burden them. Be there to help, be there to support, be there to be positive and to be an encourager, to be an influential role model in their life so that they're able to find better ways of coping with life so that they can live a productive and meaningful life. I'm a single dad. You'll wake up an hour and a half before the time, get things ready, get things started like breakfast, getting the school bags them out that was packed from the night before, ensure that their uniform and their shoes and socks, and I mean their things that they wear to school is out, and that's an half an hour before the waking up time. When they're up, breakfast is already ready, they are ready, you head out. Because of the traffic, depending on where you live, you'd want to leave an hour earlier or you'd want to leave half an hour earlier so that the traffic that you're encountering don't affect you reaching at school on time. Reaching, reaching at school, I mean, we'll all ensure that they are all out of the vehicle safely and off. Leave school to work. On your way from work now, you would call them, find out, I mean, at work, you'll know what time school is over. So you would ensure that they do their homework or start their homework before you reach home. The subject and the factors and the section, subject, factors, section in which they don't understand. I mean, they would leave that part out until you get home. When you get home and you finish up all of that, ask them how was their day, what was challenging at school today, what was problematic at school today. I mean, and you sit down and you reason it out to them and try to solve
whatever problem they have before the next day. You give them time to talk, you talk, you give them time to speak then, I should say. And that's basically it. Just play a role in their life so that they can be a part of your life and you can be a part of their life. And they don't feel uncomfortable not sharing things with you or afraid to come to you about things. Just simple things like those, or just simple things like that, will let them open up to you, express themselves, and don't be afraid. So you know exactly what is going on, and you will know when there is a problem and when there is not a problem because of the exposure or the open conversation that you and them have, pertaining to school, pertaining to on the road, pertaining to basically anything. But once you try to be a part of their life, you try to be a part of their life, they will try to help you and guide you as well as you are helping them and guiding them. But the point is, just try to play a more significant part in their life. You don't have to be big, small, and simple. Okay?
As a single parent, father, it's hard to be there for the children when they need you. Because if you're working and they need you at that time, it's not possible for you to be there if you follow the work schedule. Therefore, my solution is adjust my work schedule to fit in their schedule so that I can be there when they need me. For example, I sacrifice my lunch time to pick them up from school so they know daddy is coming. I sacrifice my rest hours to take them out for maybe a dinner or a snack, or I walk through the park. So that way you socialize. I make that time to fit their time. Sometimes when you want to rest, that is when you can sacrifice that rest time in order to be with them. Another point is the challenge as a single parent father is that sometimes the children want to see you and the mommy together so they can get that kind of mommy daddy presence. Therefore, that never been possible because then of the disconnection. So they get divided mind. We are here with daddy, we are there with mommy. We should be in a setting which is complete setting. What I will more so suggest for that, or the solution to that, is to do a co-parenting where there is a time when both parents sacrifice their differences, get together and be there for the children. The last point is in case of girls, it's a challenge as a father to ensure that they acquire the girls' skills or traits as they develop. Because there are certain things as a father, if you have a teenage, you will not be able to do for her or tell her. The solution is to find a mature female friend to mentor them. This mentor will be there with you, or she can do it on her own, so that she can be able to let them learn the skills or the traits they need to know. That way, I find it works. That is my brief synopsis.
People often are surprised when they hear that a young person has committed suicide because they think, well, they don't have any problems, any cares, and they have their whole life ahead of them. Contrary to that, young people have access to all the information about everything that's going on in the world, and that can often be overwhelming and even terrifying for them. For this reason, it becomes very important for us to check in with the young people that are in our lives. Don't assume that they're happy just because it seems that way. Ask them difficult questions and let them know that they're safe, that they're not going to be judged, and that they're free to express themselves, that their concerns and feelings matter, and that they're not insignificant just because they're young. It just might save someone's life.
Good day, everyone. I am a college student from the Philippines. According to the 2021 Young Adult Fertility and Sexuality Study, a nationwide survey of Filipino youth led by the University of the Philippines Population Institute and funded by the Department of Health, 1 out of 5 Filipinos aged 15 to 24 have considered taking their own life. The result of the study was that 10,949 randomly selected youth aged 15 to 24 are experiencing depressive symptoms and suicidal experiences. The data was collected during the COVID-19 pandemic, which may also be another factor for causing depression due to physical and social isolation. Depression is a real mental disorder. A lot of youth are experiencing it. It is important to lend a shoulder for them to lean on and an open mind to hear their thoughts and feelings. After all, the youths are the hope of the country. As a college student who is also experiencing depression, it has been a struggle for me to take care of myself and do well in my studies. It gets hard every day to get up and start my day. But one of my motivations for getting out of bed was my family. I did not want to be a burden to them. I fought depression little by little. I have relapsed every now and then, but it does not mean that I am not getting better. Small progress is always a win. It might be hard at first, but start at little things, like making your bed, brushing your hair, do your makeup, trying new recipes, and go for a walk. Start doing things that you have never done before, not for anyone, but for yourself. Whenever your friends or family are feeling lonely, we have this tendency to be compassionate by offering them support and love. But sometimes, we forget that we need love and support as well. Be there for yourself too. Be kind to yourself. Remember that you are allowed to make a big deal out of things that feel really big to you. Your feelings are valid even if other people don't see them that way. Remember that asking for help won't make you a weak person, but rather a strong one. This is my advice to my fellow students out there. Keep on fighting for your dreams, and if you don't have one, make one for yourself.
Suicide solutions for the family. Suicide solution efforts will require time and skill sets incorporating collaboration and coordination among multiple sectors of society. These sectors of society include, but are not limited to, community support groups, churches, educational institutions, healthcare centers, and law enforcement groups. Promoting healthy connections through peer groups and engaging community members to share personal experiences coping with diverse academic issues are fundamental and essential. Teaching parenting skills in schools within the communities should also be practiced and embraced. Responding to any semblance of crisis could be a therapeutic approach that would reduce the pressure of stress on families. Follow-up exercises are inevitable to ensure sustainability and resilience throughout life's challenges. Family, let us now be ambassadors of great, positive, healthy changes. Together, we soar and succeed. The time is now. Bless. Bendiga.